What's up, y'all? It's your girl, El Rochelle, the Hardwood Diva, and I'm coming to you for week 2 of the NFL's 2014 season. Now, of course, we all know it has been a very interesting last few days of this NFL week. Crazy news surrounding Ray Rice, surrounding the league's handling of his domestic violence situation. Has definitely put a cloud over the NFL, and I'm not gonna lie, it's definitely made it a little difficult for me this week, and kind of getting things taken care of, getting things done. It's not exactly something you want to hear, especially as a woman, to feel like maybe the NFL is not as ready to stand up for you. Even though you're a huge fan and you're someone that completely supports them and will spend money watching and going to games and purchasing merchandise. So it can be a little difficult, especially as a woman, to see some of these things. But as of right now, I love football. I'm not exactly happy with the NFL, but the show must go on in a sense. So here we have it. We are at week 2. Thursday, and who do we have up first? Thursday, we've got the Baltimore Ravens at home versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, instead of this being Ray Rice's last game out, we don't know how much longer Ray Rice is going to be out of the NFL, but we do know he is no longer a Baltimore Raven. So the Baltimore Ravens do have to regroup. I do, however, believe for Thursday night they are not going to be able to regroup in time. Pittsburgh looked okay last week, so I'm going to go with Pittsburgh in this game on the new CBS. Is it CBS Sports? Yeah, whatever. So it's tonight. Look for it. You'll find it. Pittsburgh Steelers versus Baltimore Ravens, and Pittsburgh Steelers will get this one. Sunday, our amazing slate of 10 a.m. games. We've got Miami versus Buffalo. Miami actually beat New England pretty good, and Buffalo did a very good job itself. So I'm going with Buffalo at home just because it's at home. Miami won last week and Buffalo won last week, but I'll go with Buffalo at home. And they found out this week that they're getting a new owner, so hey, that's awesome. Detroit versus Carolina. Detroit? That's what I'm going with. I'm rolling with Detroit. I don't know how solid I am on it. I do like a pick'em league, so I'm not sure I can't give that one like 16 confidence. But I think Detroit can win this one. Atlanta versus Cincinnati. I am going with Cincinnati for this one. Atlanta did pull off the win against the New Orleans Saints, but Cincinnati, I do believe, has a better defense, and I just don't think they're going to be able to do this one. So we'll see. New Orleans versus Cleveland. New Orleans had a very interesting time last week versus Atlanta, like I said, but they will be able to beat the Cleveland Browns, I do believe. So I'm going with the New Orleans Saints. New England versus Minnesota. Okay, look. Tom, I don't know what's going on with you, but I'm glad I did not pick you this year for my fantasy league like I did last year, and you made me very sad. So I'm going with Minnesota for this game. That's what I'm going to give you. Arizona Cardinals versus New York Giants. Cardinals actually won this weekend. But what was interesting, of course, is that Larry Fitzgerald got one target, caught the ball. His father was not very happy with it. So Larry had to come out and, kind of pull back on what Daddy said. But I do believe that there's something very interesting if Larry Fitzgerald's only getting one target. I mean, this is only a few years ago where we were talking in the league about who is better, Calvin Johnson or Larry Fitzgerald. Now it's like, Larry Fitzgerald who? So that's kind of sad. But I was completely disappointed in the Giants, so I'm still going with the Cardinals. Even though I'm not really sure how they travel. They're not the best team at traveling. That's kind of far. But I'm still going to go with the Arizona Cardinals. Dallas versus Tennessee. Tony. Really? Let's talk. Really messed me up this week. I will never in my life pick you in a fantasy football league, but my personal feelings for the Dallas Cowboys makes me want you to do well. So when you throw 3 touchdowns, it hurts my spirit. Hurts my soul. I was injured. It seemed like everybody else on your team was too. So maybe we need to figure something out. Still going with Dallas over Tennessee though. They tried to mount a comeback. I don't know. I'm not sure. But sure, Dallas, I guess. Another one of these low confidence ratings. Dallas, I don't know what to expect from you no more. I just don't. Jacksonville versus Washington. Do I have to choose? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Washington. I'll go with Washington. Sure. Whatever. I wasn't very impressed either way, to be honest with you, last week. Washington looked horrible. But I don't know. I just can't see them losing to Jacksonville. But, you know, worse things have happened. 1 p.m. games. Seattle versus San Diego. Seattle. San Diego couldn't even beat the Arizona Cardinals. Why on earth would I believe they could beat the Seattle Seahawks? I don't. St. Louis versus Tampa Bay. St. Louis just be losing everybody. They done lost Chris Long now. Like, come on, y'all. This is sad. Kansas City versus Denver. Definitely Denver. New York Jets versus the Green Bay Packers. Pack. I'm going with the Pack. Jets ekes out a win versus the Oakland Raiders, but that's the Oakland Raiders. This ain't the Pack. Houston versus Oakland. Houston. Sorry, Oakland. Derek Carr looks good. When they finally got it together, you know, kind of made they start gelling. But it's Houston. Going with Houston. Our 5:30 Sunday game on NBC, we've got Chicago Bears versus the San Francisco 49ers. I am going with the 49ers. The Chicago Bears looked bad. And the 49ers looked really good last week. I know part of it was because they was playing Tony Romo and them. And they actually made their defense, which a lot of people were questioning, look really great. With 3 interceptions, a fumble. Thanks to Marco. You made up for it, though, because you did give me like 18 points. So I can't say too much against you. But I'm going with San Francisco, especially at home in this new stadium that is like $8 gajillion. They are going to like light it up. I feel it. I feel it coming. So going with 49ers. Monday, Philadelphia versus Indianapolis. This is a tough one because Philadelphia, they kind of got to a slow start and then came back and like pretty much put it down on Jacksonville. Indianapolis got down early to Denver, but made a very, very good comeback, and they kind of do that. So I'm not sure, though. But I just don't think their defense can do very well against Philadelphia's offense, which is kind of their thing. So I do believe they might get into a hole again. No, of course, they're not playing Peyton Manning, so it may not be as big a hole. But let's not forget, Nick Foles was kind of smashing last year, so might be still a fairly large hole. So I'm still going to go with Philly for this one. Those are my picks, guys. This is my week 2. Hopefully things get better for the NFL because I do love football, and I know that's part of the reason why people say it's kind of the way it goes is because people love football so much and they're not as apt to leave. I don't want to. I love football, but I do admit, and we must all admit, football seems to have a domestic violence issue. But I do also believe lots of organizations that are overwhelmingly male dominated do as well. Because if you look into policing forces, it's very similar. So, there's my social injustice conversation for the week. But there you have it, folks. Let me know what you think. Tell me your picks. Holla at your girl. Hit subscribe. I will talk to you later. So sad.